with a little update for this afternoon. We've got some very good information that we'd like to pass on. At the end of this news briefing, I was actually getting information right before I came. I was not able to put together a graphic. Once I get back to the office, I will put together a graphic on this information so that you can get it off of our social media and you can share it with your followers. So this afternoon, Pendleton Power and Light and their partners, other utility companies that are working here in the town of Pendleton, have made substantial progress in getting several areas of power restored in the community. South Pendleton has power restored, as well as to the northeast of town, not up into the Huntsville area, but actually northeast Pendleton and into parts of downtown. As a result of that, the Indiana State Police, working with local law enforcement and Pendleton Police Department, we will be moving the perimeter. We will be scaling it back, moving it to the west. So it'll be now bordered at Pendleton Avenue, west over to Fall Creek Drive. So that means Pendleton Avenue to the east will be open for residents to get back into their homes and start that recovery process and start rebuilding and doing construction, fixing things in their homes that they are so ready to do and they want to get back into. The street department has done great progress as well, getting the streets opened up. The streets are not, 2-lane roads right now, and we still want motorists, if they are moving back into their homes and getting in that area, take their time, use caution. Many of the roads are still 1 lane. But with that being said, traffic can get back into the residences. People can start getting back home, start getting power, and start the rebuilding process. This is huge for the town of Pendleton. Right now, I do not have an exact number on the power. We were at about 4,000 people, so 3,500 in Pendleton. Right now, they're estimating about 1,500 to 2,000 people are without power. So we're getting there. That is still very much improved from where we were at even during the 9 o'clock hour this morning. So we are looking to move that perimeter back starting at 6 o'clock tonight. So again, we'll get that graphic out to you. At this point, we still are very fortunate. We've not had any other injuries. We've had the one injury that occurred shortly after the storm during the initial response. But with that being said, to our citizens in the community, use caution. Okay, you're going to start moving around. People are going to start the rebuilding process, cleaning up their properties. Be careful. Use safety precautions. Use gloves. Use safety glasses. If you're using chainsaws, please make sure you're trained, that you know how to use the equipment. We've got a good record going right now with only the one injury. We want to keep it at that. Emergency services from Pendleton Fire Department have had a very good day today. We've not had any storm-related responses that I'm aware of at this point. Law enforcement is very pleased with the cooperation we're getting from the community and from you folks, our media partners. At first, they were concerned when I said, hey, let's let the media get in there. Let's let them show the public so the community can see what's going on. And they accepted that. I promised them that the media would cooperate. You guys have done a great job, and we do very much appreciate that. And that was from the town representatives here in Pendleton, Indiana. We are going to look at also opening up a volunteer reception center sometime tomorrow. We do not have an exact time or date at that, but what that means is this opens the way for volunteers that may want to come to our community and they wanted to show the Hoosier hospitality to start working and helping the community rebuild. What a volunteer reception center is, this is a location that will be set up at a designated location where individuals will come, they will register, they will be vetted to ensure of the purpose and their skills and what they're bringing to the community in Pendleton. And we'll use those individuals then in organized manner to help the rebuilding and further the cleanup process. Okay? Any questions that you have at this time? Yes?
It's really incredible that there were no serious injuries. What do you credit that to? Did people heed the warning?
I credit it to about 3 things. Number 1, the National Weather Service got warnings out. They told us all day long that severe weather was coming. Emergency management, we shared that message. And you folks, our media partners, your meteorologists, your stations got the word out that severe weather's coming. We were able to communicate that to the public, and we were able to say, hey, the storm is coming, take shelter. When we had trained spotters observed the rotation, we immediately put out a warning. And again, we had one injury, and that's remarkable. At 8:20 at night, families were at home, TVs were on, people were doing other activities with the family. Sometimes it's hard to get the word out, but we did. We were successful.
Todd, do you know any more about the minor injury, where he or she was, what the injury was?
Yeah, the injury was a minor laceration to the forehead. They were at their house. They were transported by basic life support, meaning there was no paramedics on board. It was a simple bandage, transported to the hospital, treated, and released.
Is there anything EMA or the county is doing in preparation for possible storms this evening? I know that this area is under a severe thunderstorm watch.
Thank you for bringing it up. We are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 8 p.m. tonight. In the command center, we have an individual that is his job is to monitor the weather. And we're also in direct communication with the National Weather Service. They've already called the command post and offered all of their services to keep us on alert as well.
With Fox National, so I wasn't here this morning if there was any updates, but can you give a recap of what all happened? You know, sirens went off, storm came in. How big of a storm was it?
Sure. Yesterday afternoon, we had a series of 3 different storm systems that blew through central Indiana, Madison County. First 2 went through. They were your typical thunderstorm, pea-size hail, thunder, lightning, rain, what we're used to here in Indiana. And then this third storm, they kept telling, the third storm after 8 p.m. is going to be the most vulnerable time in the atmosphere. This storm was moving across central Indiana. There was spotters that observed a possible funnel cloud in Hamilton County. We had our spotters out. National Weather Service was monitoring it. As soon as an individual, happened to be myself, I witnessed seeing rotation in the clouds, reported it to emergency management, my agency. We initiated a tornado warning on our own at that time by setting off our electronic alert notification system and also activating our sirens that we control in Madison County. And just within minutes, the National Weather Service issued a tornado warning, not only for Madison County, but then followed that warning into Henry and Delaware counties as well.
Was there any rating on the tornado yet?
There has. This was a confirmed, we never confirm what it was, straight line or tornado, until the National Weather Service comes in. They were on site this morning about 9:15, spent 3 or 4 hours here surveying the damage. They have ruled it to be an EF2 tornado, which means the winds were between the range of 111 miles an hour to 135 miles an hour. When the storm first started, it was an EF1, and then as it crossed over State Road 67, it upgraded to an EF2, so that's how it became an EF2 on the record book for Pendleton, Indiana, Madison County.
Can you explain that electronic alert system and how that works?
Madison County subscribes to a system called Nixle. It's free to our citizens through Madison County Emergency Management. Citizens can sign up not only for text, but also for email alerts. And we also have the ability to send out voice telephone calls as well to get the word out to our community.
Do you know how many people have that?
I do. So in Madison County, we have roughly 16,000 people that are subscribers to it, as well as another 30-some thousand telephone numbers that are in the system if we elect to use the voice calling system.
So when you change the perimeter tonight, so people who are on that east side of that street that you called, that starts at 6 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
When they were gonna And then the 1500 number, is that all in Madison County or just Pendleton?
That's for Pendleton, yes.
Just for Pendleton.
Just for Pendleton. Duke Energy is working. They were at one time at about 500 customers, and I'm sorry, I do not know off the top of my head what their number is right now.
Are there still residents that are out of their houses, and if you know how many that are seeking shelter for the night, or how many houses are unlivable?
Sure. So 2 parts to that question. Number one, how many people are in shelter? Last night we had between 10 and 15 people in the shelter at various times during the evening. We peaked at like 20 people, but for the most of the evening it was between 10 and 15. Today that number significantly dropped. People did go to friends, family, hotels, got back into their homes to take care of their family and pets and things like that. So right now, when we were at the shelter earlier, I think there was like 3 people there. We expect that number to go back up tonight again, especially if the threat of storms continues. If we do get severe weather, we look for people to number one, they're going to heed the warnings, and number two, we believe that more people will seek the shelter. And then the second part of your question, and I apologize, what was it?
How many houses?
Okay. So at 12 noon today, we put out damage assessment teams of EMA personnel that are trained to do that. They are currently still doing that, so I do not have a number. There was a number floating around yesterday of 75, and just to clarify what that was, the Madison County Sheriff's Department had inspected, and they had gone to 75 homes during that initial response, checking for individuals that were injured or may have been trapped. That was not a firm number on the number of homes damaged.
Are we expecting that number to be much higher?
Yeah, I believe it will, just from what I've driven around and seen. However, you know, when you drive around, you see trees down throughout the community and everything, and it looks like a tree is on a house, when in reality it may be, branches, the edge of the tree is on the house. So until the damage assessment teams can really get in there, and they literally walk from house to house on every street in Pendleton and Huntsville and Madison County, parts that were affected, and really look and examine the damage of the home and make the determination, is it minor, moderate, or extreme.
You said it was an EF1 going through town, and then it gained momentum, kind of crossing 67. For folks who aren't familiar with that, what kind of damage is associated with that? What's the bulk of what we're seeing here in town?
Sure. So the bulk of what we're seeing here is trees and utility poles that were snapped off. Literally, anywhere from the tree root system completely uprooted to trees that were snapped off at 20, 30 feet in the air. Pendleton is a very old community with very mature trees. Some of these trees, I'm being told, are close to 100 years old, and they had root basins in them that were 4 and 5 feet across. So these were very mature trees. So you see that with these high winds that we had associated with the storm. Okay, guys, I just want to reiterate to everybody, to our citizens, if you are west of Pendleton Avenue out to Fall Creek, we are still in a shelter in place. We want you to remain inside your home. We are still removing trees, tree limbs, getting utility lines up off the ground. Some lines are still energized. So please heed our caution. Please stay indoors. If you are east of Pendleton Avenue, tonight after 6 p.m., we're going to move that perimeter. You will be allowed to come back into your homes. Please be careful. Use caution. We've got a good record going with only one injury so far, and we want to keep it that way. Thank you very much.